Good morning everyone. Today we will discuss the PID control design for a buck converter. I am P. Bharini Chandrakumar and I am an academic at GMR Institute of Technology. And this is a supplementary video recording for the day 4 July 23, 2020. So the first thing is what we are going to discuss here is how to convert the state space to transfer function. In the lecture we have seen we have derived the state space model for the buck converter, and once the state space model is obtained, you can use this formula g of s equal to c into si minus a whole inverse into b plus d to get the transfer function. And we substitute the corresponding a, b, c and d values from the lecture. We'll be getting the transfer function is like this. This is a second order transfer function, and the output is the output of the buck converter, and the input here u of s is the duty cycle. So the parameter selection, so what I want here is my input voltage is 100 volts and I want it to step down to 30 volts. So the VI is represented VI equal to 100 volts and V naught equal to 30 volts, and the switching frequency here I have assumed it as 50 kilohertz, and the maximum voltage ripple I have assumed as 50 millivolts and current ripple as 0.5 volts. And these are the standard formulas from which I can calculate the open loop desired duty ratio, which is 0.3, and the inductance, if I substitute the above value, I'll be getting as 840 microhenries, and capacitance is 25 microfarads. So these are the parameters which I'll be using for this simulation. And this is the parameter file. In this parameter file we are defining all the parameters and the state space matrices as well. So input voltage 100, output is 30 desired output voltage, and sampling frequency, voltage ripple, and these are all the things what we have seen in the earlier slide. And this is the state space matrices what we had discussed in the lecture. So A, B, C and D matrices. So buck underscore SS, so it is creating the state space model. SS is the state space model from this A, B, C, D matrices. So this buck SS has the state space model, and we are checking the controllability of the system. First of all, we are checking the order of the system and the rank of the controllability matrix. If it is same, then we call it as a controllable. So I just copied this parameter code and I am going to run that one. So this is the code. As soon as I run, the plant is controllable and all the variable which are in the workspace can be seen here. So this is the open loop buck converter. You can see that this is the duty cycle. I will tell you what is this duty cycle. And first of all, this is the transfer function. We have already seen in the last 3 days how to get this how to represent this transfer function in the Simulink block. This numerator y of s has been the numerator. This vi by lc is the numerator, and the denominator is the same thing what we have seen there. However, the input here is the duty cycle and the output we are capturing here. So how do we get this duty cycle? The parameters, so this is nothing but the pulse generator, and we are generating the period as 1 by sampling frequency, and the pulse width what we have got 0.3, but it is in the percentage of period, so that's why we are giving it as into 100. And you see that this is the open loop response, and you can see that because it has been designed for 30 volts of output, you are getting exactly the 30 volts with almost it is taking 0.002 to 0.003 to settle down. There is no overshoot as well. But the problem with this buck open loop buck converter is, if this duty cycle is fixed, if I want the output to 40 or so on, so automatically there is no feedback mechanism or nothing. You cannot obtain the desired response. The other thing is you have to go back and design for here for 40 volts, and all these calculations need to be redone, and then it need to work out to get the desired response. So that is not the one what we want. We want that dynamically, if I just change the reference output voltage, that it should reflect here. So I will show you this thing in the Simulink. This is the one. So this is the Simulink diagram. So if you see, this is the transfer function, the same thing what we have seen, the numerator and the denominator. This you might be familiar with. but this is the one which you are not familiar. So this is called as a pulse generator. So amplitude I kept as 1, whereas the period is 1 by sampling frequency, and the pulse width d into 0. The remaining all are the default parameters. From where you will get this one is just go here, and it will be in the sources. If you go to the sources, there will be this pulse generator. Yeah, this is the one. So this pulse generator, if you double click, the corresponding values you have to change 1 by fs, and accordingly the corresponding value duty cycle into 100, d into 100. So since I already ran the parameter file, so this fs, d, all the variables will appear in the workspace, which I can use it. So, and the next one is PID controller. As far as the PID controller is concerned, you can see that I want the reference as 30, and this is the same thing. This output has been compared with the reference, and the error has been given to this PID controller. But note that here I am saturating the PID output because I don't want, as you are aware, that duty cycle cannot go beyond 1. So that's why I am a kind of using, this is the KPK values. It is only PI controller, and if you go to the PID advanced, if you click this limit output, I am limiting it between 0 and 1 because that's what the minimum and maximum value of my duty cycle will go here. So this is the thing, and then what I am doing is I am using the pulse width modulation technique, where I am trying to compare it with this sinusoid, with this repeating sequence. And what is happening here is the time value, it is starting value is 0, and it is time values is 1 by fs. So 1 by fs means 1 by sampling frequency, and the output values is 0 to 1, and it will repeat after each time interval. And this is the relational operator. Then what I have done here is I kept greater than equal to 0. So based upon this logic, it will give the corresponding input voltage to the plant. So if I run this one, so it already ran. So you can see that 30, since I gave the command is 30, I can able to get the 30 here. But suppose if I am giving the command as 40, important to note that because this design has been done in such a way that the 30 will be obtained, but I want the 40 now. Let's see what is going to happen. You can see that I asked for the 40 and it is showing the 40, but this is not possible in this open loop control. So dynamically I cannot able to change this one. So when I plot these are the various parameters. This is the block diagram which just now we discussed, and the parameters of a repeating table, this one, and the parameters of the PID block is this one. And if you go to the PID advanced, we are limiting the outputs, so that's why it is looking like this. These three are the corresponding parameters what has been used, and this is the results what we have seen. If it is 30, since it has been designed for 30, you can see that closed loop, open loop and closed loop works. They could able to get the desired response. However, there is no such option where I can, now the reference value has been changed to 40. You can see that 40. So when I change it to 40, my closed loop could able to track this one, could able to achieve the desired output, but it is not possible in the case of the open loop. Thank you very much.